Is it crazy that we are somehow in a situation where the next three DCU projects could be absolute bangers, and because of the way in which Paramount Plus does business at the top, if the message that they send doesn't vibe with the political message that the new owners want to send out, that it could all be scrapped, that all this goodwill and all this good work and everything that we've essentially gotten over these last few years could all be thrown out of the window because Netflix decided they didn't want to continue with this whole buying Warner Brothers bullshit and was just like, fuck it, let the bad guys win. That's crazy to me. I'm excited for this, but at the exact same time, I know that there's a chance, there's a possibility that none of this matters. But Lanterns just dropped its official teaser. We've got who are our, I know Aaron Pierre Gordon is one of them, but oh boy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and they don't even have his name down here where it's supposed to be. And I'm not gonna look it up, so we're just gonna jump into it.
With all due respect, we've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class till the ring says you are.
All right.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you.
Yo, Hal Jordan, you wild.
Something is off here. I can feel it.
This is my town. You're a big shot. Noted. Gotta stay the fuck out of my way.
Think she hates your guts.
It's the way she hates them.
This is a stupid plan.
That's stupider.
That I don't doubt. The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people. And we both know I do a better job of this than you.
Kyle Chandler,
This
Jesus.
is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior.
You're old. You're tired. And your time is up.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
I'm not gonna fake.
Have you ever talked with the other lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
So I know how we all felt going into this. A lot of people didn't want John Stewart as the primary lantern going forward. A lot of them wanted a younger Hal Jordan. I'm okay with an older Hal Jordan that's just tired. Like, if this Hal Jordan is essentially past his prime, where he's post parallax, he's just tired and he's universe weary, and he's trying to train like the newest addition to the Lantern Corps, that's dope as fuck. If they're also in a situation where they're on Earth and they're a little bit depowered, but he's teaching him how to not be completely reliant on the ring and also think his way out of like super crazy scenarios and situations he could end up in, I'm 100% for that. Deciding not to make his first adventure this universe globe trotting universe ending thing is good, because a lot of the times, especially with the MCU, the argument that we tend to get into, or the issue that we tend to have, is every character who steps out onto the scene, onto the field, they're instantly thrown into a situation where they've either got to save the planet, they've got to save the universe, they've got to save reality. Deciding that, okay, we're not going to do that for our characters' first outings, outside of Superman, but then again, Superman saved the city, you would expect him to do something like that. We're going to make it where the character is dealing with a small situation that is also big enough that the character can learn more about themselves, more about their powers, and more about the world around them. That can be a really, really good growing point for that character. Kind of like the way in which the MCU chose to handle the first Spider-Man movie. Which one? What was that called again? No Way Home was the last one. Far From Home was the second one. Homecoming? I think Homecoming, where he's not dealing with these super grand threats. He's dealing with basically B tier villains. His biggest op was essentially the Vulture, like this dude who was stealing tech to maintain a lifestyle that almost crumpled for him during the blip. That's good. That's a great decision. I don't think we need to go super cosmic with the lanterns yet. Shortening it in scope, dropping them in a situation where they're basically in the middle of nowhere and they only really have each other to rely on, and he's learning from how to basically maneuver these type of situations in a more lantern-esque way. That's good. And then you can sprinkle in, because it seems as though we might be going to Peacemaker route, where they're sprinkling in otherworldly threats that are basically operating in the background, and he has to be able to see the signs if he's going to be the person protecting this sector of space. And I'm really hoping that this ties into Peacemaker season 1, where the reason why he wasn't around to stop the invasion of the butterflies is because he was basically down on his luck and had essentially given up until they gave him John Stewart to essentially train. But so far, I'm liking what I see. I thought Aaron Pierre looks good as John Stewart. I know there were a bunch of people that wanted a more darker skinned actor, kind of like what's his name, Aldous Hodge, I think is his name off the top of my head, the guy who plays he plays Cross, like that detective from the James Patterson novels, and he also played Hawkman in The Rock's Black Adam movie. They wanted him as John Stewart, or they wanted the guy from Moonlight, Moonlight, I think. I wasn't really familiar with that guy's work. He kind of popped up on my radar, but they wanted him as a more darker skin toned John Stewart. I think that he's fine. I think Rebel Ridge was really good. If it was going to be the audition tape that they used for the character, and I believe he's going to be a fantastic John Stewart. This right here is funny as hell, where he's training him and he's just like, think fast. He jumps out the car, but the ring is on the dash, so he has to like grab the ring, put it on, defend himself in some way, shape, or form in order to survive. It looks as though we're not going to get a situation where we don't see them use their powers or their abilities. That's actually a really, really nice shot when he's turning and you see the ring on his finger. Because we do actually see him fly. We see a couple of lantern outfits. Now, we see a couple lantern outfits in here. I'm wondering whether or not whatever's going on in this town, there have been a bunch of dead lanterns that have investigated this, or we're going the route where the lantern outfit isn't something that's created by the ring. It's actually a physical suit or physical armor that they have to put on and essentially wear. I see that we're going back to the destruction of location is going to be used as the introduction to an episode, because we see that the O flashes in the form of the Lantern Corps, or should I say it flashes in the form of the Yellow Lantern Corps, because it's actually flashing yellow. So it could be a situation where the Yellow Lantern Corps could be on Earth, and they're the ones operating inside this town, because we definitely hear earlier on in this, we hear him say that there's something wrong with this town. I can feel it in the air. So it could be that the Yellow Lantern Corps is here and they're operating with fear in this town to do something to basically mess with the Earth. But we're going to be sitting around essentially waiting to see more of that. But down on his luck, Hal Jordan basically taking John Stewart under his wing to train him. That is a great idea. There's also more evidence of there possibly being Yellow Lantern here with this device that this guy has in his hand as he's trying to mess with his head. So it could definitely be that the Yellow Lantern Corps is on Earth in some way, shape, or form. Or I could be wrong, and technically when this thing flashes, it's not flashing yellow at all. It's actually flashing orange, and it could be the Orange Lantern Corps. That would be crazy for a first villain. If they, I mean, technically it kind of sort of flashes yellow the entire time that it's there. It doesn't really flash orange, so... But then again, being able to see Larfleeze in live action would be super fucking dope. I would love to see Larfleeze in live action since we've never technically got him. Then we get like a little bit of the ring action. I'm really hoping it's a situation where they can't recharge their rings because of what's ever happening inside of this town. So it starts off with them at maybe at 100%, and then as the series progresses, they're getting lower and lower and lower and lower. Or hell, you could start off the series and make it so that they're starting off at 20%, and they really have to pick their spots as to when they're creating constructs and when they're doing a bunch of stuff. That would also be really, really good. And then I think we get a shot of him flying, but that was here, right there. We get a shot of him flying, and we see that when he flies using the ring, he does not transform into his lantern armor, which leads it more into the lantern armor not being a construct created by the ring, but it being an actual physical suit that they have to put on. This looks... I did that whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm dumb. I did that whole thing without realizing that I was in big picture mode. And I don't feel like redoing it. So it's just me yapping for like 6 minutes talking about stuff because I'm dumb and I'm also tired. But yeah, I'm excited for Lanterns. Let me know what you guys think about it. Comment down below and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.